What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at something a little bit different. This is the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mighty Metalhead. So I normally don't show the box, but this one's pretty cool and unique. So here's the box. It does have a window box here so you can see the figure inside. Pretty cool looking. Here's the back. Shows product shots, but it also shows Splinter there, which they are getting in this line. I actually stopped collecting this line, but I thought Metalhead was pretty cool. I pre-ordered him and then kind of forgot about it, and then it showed up. So let's take a look at the figure. Really cool looking figure. By the way, in the box there is this insert. I don't think it was intended to be used as a stage or anything because it doesn't have any resiliency, but if you wanted to, you could use that as a stage. It's the Channel 6 studio. Now here is the figure. Let's get in close on the details. And he's a very cool looking figure. So you got tons and tons of paint. Pretty much 100% covered in paint all the way around. Let's get in a little bit closer so you can see that detail. So you've got some nice yellow paint and red paint for the eyes. The mouth is painted black on the inside. You can't open that up. Pretty cool, they can do that. You got green paint for the ears, and then the yellow continues to the back. On the chest, you've got this army green color. And then you have some detail here on the chest. The chest does open up, each of these panels. And there's an accessory that you can use here. In fact, why don't we just show that now? So it comes with this accessory. And you can plug this square piece or rectangle piece here, and then the wire goes into a tiny little slot there. And I would be careful with this. It doesn't seem all that strong, but it works. There you go. There it is in his chest. You get that detail. I think this actually came out of his chest in the show. This little gun piece kind of popped out. It is really cool, but it's also very fragile. And I mean, if you're putting these figures on a shelf, it's fine. But I don't know. It's not really meant to be played with. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But continuing downwards, you have that red detail there. He does have these grenades here on the side, or whatever they are, on his utility belt. The utility belt looks really nice. Goes all the way around. Just like the other turtles, he's got that same thing. Going down here on the legs, you've got those knee pads with the black detail. And then the feet are painted green. There's a lot of panel lining on it. That's what makes it look really nice on this whole figure, is that panel lining. Then you got the red and the yellow for the feet. Here's the back. A darker color. They've been doing this on pretty much all their figures, where they have the lighter color and the darker color on the back for that toon shading. You do have that red switch here. The switch does go up and down. I'm worried to death about that switch because he sometimes falls backwards, and when he falls, he lands right on that. So that's a little bit scary. So just be careful with that switch. But it does move up and down. You can turn him on and off. That's pretty neat. All in all, he has some pretty cool features. Let's go over his articulation. So the head, and all the articulation is pretty tight, but the head is on a ball joint, but it doesn't really get much up, honestly. Can't get it much further than that. It goes down to there, and then he does rotate all the way around. I have noticed the mouth is a little bit looser than when I first got it, because I've been opening and closing it, but that's another piece of articulation. The arm rotates all the way around on this joint here. It goes up to there and down to there, and that's basically it. I feel like they could have gotten more out of this, but unfortunately, somewhat limited by its sculpt there. The elbow gets you barely, not even 90 degrees. It goes to there, to there. I do like how they did this, the wrap on his elbow here, because it does cover up the joints, just like the turtles. You do have a joint here, all the hands, and we'll look at the hands a little bit later. It goes up and down, and then it does rotate around. You have a rotation at the waist, actually, which is interesting. So this upper torso does rotate Gosh, I keep grabbing that thing. I really don't like that. But you can rotate this all the way around, and this belt actually covers the joint. So that's really kind of cool. But you can't get them rotated. I'm not sure how much you want to play with that, given how this figure feels. But the legs go out to there on a ball joint. It goes up to there. The sculpt kind of gets in the way, but you can get it out. And then back, it's hindered by the shell. The shell looks really nice. Again, all that panel lining looks really good. I guess it's not panel lining, just the shading. The knee, it looks like it's double jointed, because I think I see a joint right here, and this joint does bend. But that other joint, I mean, it just... either it's so tight that it won't bend, or it's not a joint. And I don't want to push it and break it, but... You do have an ankle tilt here. Goes pretty far, actually. All the way this way, all the way that way, all the way down to there, and then all the way up to there. So that's actually one of the better ankles we've gotten on these TMNT figures. Again, I was collecting all of these, but I've since stopped, so I don't have any to compare and to show you. I will bring in another figure just to show you the size comparison. So here he is next to my recently reviewed Kingdom Optimus Primal. I know these aren't in the same genre or even in the same field, but he's pretty big. I mean, he's a big robotic turtle. He's actually much bigger than the other turtles in this line. Unfortunately, I don't have them anymore to show you and compare, but trust me, he is much taller than most of the other figures in the line. So let's take a look at his accessories. We already looked at this one. This plugs into his chest. I do like that. You do get this. This is the vacuum used in that episode. It might be more than one, but I'm pretty sure it's just one episode. It does articulate here at the bottom. That's about as far as it goes. Basically, all of the hands work the same way, so go ahead and pull off on this peg, just like any other action figure. And you'll see there's a slot there to plug it into the arm. You can sort of fake it. It also doesn't stay, but there you go. You can kind of fake it and make it look like he's vacuuming. So that's interesting. You'll also get this accessory here, the drill that he used from another episode. There you go. There he is with that. He does come with two other sets of hands. So you have these sort of clawing hands. And I'm not really sure the purpose of the clawing hand because there's nothing really for him to hold. But you can put that on. And he can be drilling somebody. And then the other hand you get is the closed grip, which I think actually looks probably the best. And there you go. So final thoughts on Metalhead. I think he's really cool. I like the look of him. I think they added enough features to make him interesting. I really do like this opening chest. That's kind of fun. I do like the switch, although it does feel fragile, so I just be careful with it, but it's kind of cool. I like that his mouth opens up. That's unique. They haven't had that on a lot of the turtle figures, only really Bebop and Rocksteady. I like all the accessories. You get a whole bunch of stuff, and that's really nice. I think there's good inclusions overall. So out of all the TMNT figures we've been getting from NECA, I think this is one of the better ones. I really like the color scheme. I really like the look. I just feel like the joints are where things break down on these NECA. Things are so tight, and the articulation is very limited due to the sculpt. They have prioritized the sculpt and the paint, which look great, over the articulation. So if you're an articulation junkie, these aren't really the figures for you. They're more for, pose it, put it on the shelf, and kind of be done with it. It's not really meant to just play and play and play. And they will break if you keep messing with them, because these joints are just kind of weird and brittle. But I do love the look of it. I think he looks great. He fits in perfectly with the collection. NECA's doing a great job on this line. It's just not the most exciting action figure in terms of posing. So that's it for this guy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.